And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go here on this Sunday, January 10th. Thank you for joining me for yet another edition of the Big D Show here on this Sunday pregame showdown version 1.6. We're going to be talking a little NFC playoff action today, breaking down those matchups, giving you our picks and predictions. We're also going to be breaking down those AFC games from yesterday. We gave you the picks beforehand. Scores turned out a little bit differently than I thought here on the Big D Show. But you know what, so ladies and gentlemen, that's what happens some days. It can happen any day in sports, and it's unpredictable sometimes unless you're Vegas. So anyways, give a call into the studio line, 657-383-1868. We want to hear who you got today in these playoff matchups between the Seahawks and the Vikings and the Packers and the Redskins. It's going to be a great wild card Sunday. This show is brought to you by DraftKings and FanDuel, and that's right, the only place you will see them two collaborating together is here on the Negdog Radio Network. Get the link on negdog.com. Use the promo codes Negdog on both websites, and you will go ahead and get a free bonus when you sign up. And you can start winning with us here on the Negdog Radio Network and on the Big D Show. So, quick breakdown of what happened yesterday. We'll start off with those early AFC matchups. And the game that just completely went AWOL, to everyone's predictions. Everyone thought this was going to be a complete toss-up game over on the AFC side between the Chiefs and the Texans. And wow, did we just completely have that one wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Smith was just pulling the strings for the Chiefs. His running ability was just crucial on third down opportunities. The kid was going around everywhere on the Texans' defense. Watt single-handedly had to make a lot of plays alongside of Whitney Merciless, who did get some good pass rush opportunities for the Texans. But all in all, Brian Hoyer, I mean, goodness gracious, you can take a guy out of Cleveland, but you can't take the Cleveland out of the guy. And in this case, Brian Hoyer, just a terrible game. It almost looked like, I mean, if anybody's in the rigged conspiracies, it looked like this guy might have been a part of one. So they got away from Alfred Blue too early, in my opinion. He had a couple decent runs at the beginning of the game, but once it gets out of hand like that, that Chiefs pass rush was just too formidable for the Texans' offensive line, and it completely showed as they struggled for the entirety of the day. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, don't be shy to call in 657-383-1868. We want to hear your take on yesterday's games as well as your predictions for today's games. I've got a caller in the studio. Caller, you are live here on the Big D Show. Who am I speaking with?
Victor, what's up, man?
Hello. This is Victor.
Yes, it is.
What's going on, buddy? We got Victor joining us up from Cleveland. I didn't mean to bash on your city up there, buddy. But, man,
that's
Brian
okay,
Hoyer
man. I do it myself.
What was going on with Hoyer yesterday as a former Browns fan? I know you can speak on that personally.
It just seems like Hoyer is more of a game manager, and when your team's completely falling apart, he's the type of quarterback that just doesn't stick with it. And you could just tell by the frustration with the fans and amongst the team. They even got a video of DeAndre Hopkins telling the coaches to get him the F off the field. I don't know if you saw that video, but yeah, I just think he was falling apart mentally and physically in that entire game.
No, I didn't see that video. That's an interesting piece there. I didn't hear about that. I'll have to check that out, and we'll put that up on the negdog.com for you listeners out there so you can take a look at it. And, yeah, I think you hit it right on the head. Hoyer just fell apart early, had some mental breakdowns. I mean, when you got a guy like DeAndre Hopkins, almost you have to force feed him the ball, and it seemed like he was going away from him a little bit. You got to feed that guy the ball, as good of a playmaker as he is. And what do you think about – I've heard a lot of reports, Vic, as far as taking Hoyer out earlier in the game. What's your opinion on that?
I think they did want to do that, but they didn't have any better options. They had Brandon Weeden, but he still hadn't learned their system correctly. He had only started because he was their only option before. And I don't know if you saw any of that Texans-Colts game where he did play. It was a complete floppy game on both ends. It was just that neither team had a complete team, and it just pretty much came out to whatever happened. They just thought Hoyer was still the best option out of anyone they had.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Whedon looked very insufficient as far as playing time earlier in the year with the Cowboys, so I bet they're hurting that they let Brian Mallett go. We're going to move on to another caller. Vic, you stay on the line with us. We got another caller here. Give me 1 second. Caller, you are live here on the Big D Show. Who am I speaking with?
This is Connor.
Little dude, what's going on, player?
What's up?
Not much, man.
I'm
Just
going to
talking
reflect
this
real
AFC
quick on that
matchup,
Cleveland game. I'm going to reflect for Victor real quick. I think Cleveland has the greatest quarterback in the NFL on their team now. He's just got to get a little bit of reps in. That's all we need from him. Less partying, more reps, and he'll be the best quarterback in the league. That's my side on Cleveland. That's the only player they got. Now, the game last night, it started off with a touchdown, and that was the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell early.
Return.
You could tell early when Davis went ahead and took that back to the house that it was a huge momentum swing. You could feel the deflation from the Texans sideline immediately, and, of course, with Hoyer coming back out there, you don't want him playing from behind, as like Vic said, he is a game manager. Thanks for joining us, Connor. Stay on the line here, okay? We're going to go ahead and get this next caller. He has a take on the game, I believe. Caller, you are live here on the Big D Show. Hello.
This is
right, they must just be listening. They might just be listening. Vic, we brought you on specifically. We want to we're pretty much past this Texans-Chiefs game. Everyone saw it last night. It was a blowout. If you need more, breakdown on that, I mean, go check it out on any sports website, negdog.com. You can check out the Big D Twitter page at BigD813, and you can also hit us up there. Be sure to call in, anybody else out there listening, 657-383-1868. And once again, this show is brought to you by DraftKings and FanDuel. Use the promo code Negdog when you sign up. Before we move on to the breakdown of the other game from yesterday, Vic, I want to hear a little bit on your take on the Browns' off-season plans. I know we heard Connor saying that Johnny Manziel is one of the few bright spots of talent that you could say on the squad. What are your projections for this offseason moving forward for the Browns?
I actually had a good vibe of what was going on because I was actually in attendance at the Browns-Steelers game at the end of the year, right by the sideline as well, and it just seemed like everyone seemed really flustered over the fact that Johnny was not there because he did not attend the last game. And it just seems that added on to everything that happened the past couple of weeks with him. I just think he's going to be gone. I don't think he's going to be with us anymore. I think whoever the next coach is going to recommend that we draft either Paxton Lynch or any of the next best options.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, I think I see Manziel moving on to Jerry World personally. I think he'll end up in Dallas. Probably will get a chance eventually with Romo going down with yet another injury is my projection. And he'll probably either get that chance to shine or, move back on to the free agent wire just moving forward. Honestly, I think if he gets a shot in Dallas, he may have a chance to succeed, but I don't see him having much of a shot anywhere else besides there. Moving forward with the head coaching position, I know we've had some candidates named. Who do you think is going to get that spot up there, Vic?
I know they want Hugh Jackson as the main candidate, and the next best one that they're really trying for is Matt Patricia from the New England Patriots.
That's the defensive coordinator, correct?
Yeah, from the New England Patriots. And I know they're interviewing Hugh Jackson today, and the interview with Matt Patricia happened, I believe, yesterday.
All right, one more thing for the fans out there who are wondering, those Cleveland Browns faithful, who are they going to go after with their first-round pick? I know it's early. We haven't even had the combine yet. What position, in your opinion, are they going to be targeting in the first round?
I think regardless of what happens with Manziel, it's got to be quarterback. We have to be sure at that position going into next season.
I completely agree. And, you got to have your focal point, your leader, your franchise face. So good luck to the Browns moving forward. all you Cleveland faithful out there, I'm rooting for you because, damn it, I'm tired of seeing all the memes making fun of you guys. It's bad enough. So I feel your pain as a Bears fan. So moving on to the other matchup from yesterday, and, boy, what a game that was. The Bengals and the Steelers, divisional playoff matchup, always fun to watch, a third game of the season. I know Vic knows these two teams real well, being in his squad's division, and we had a barn burner yesterday, even though it wasn't as high scoring as originally expected here on the Big D show. I predicted a 34-20 game, and wow, that rain did make a difference, ladies and gentlemen. You could tell it hurt both sides in the passing game. It also did make a little bit of a difference in the defensive side. Teams were playing real physical at the line of scrimmage, and you could tell that the DBs were having a little bit more of an advantage with the receivers not being as fleet of foot out there. I saw McCarron make a great stride in his fourth ever career start, and I think teams looking for a quarterback may take that route to try and pry him away from the Bengals. Just went out there, led his squad, and you really can't fault the guy for that win as a backup. I mean, just first of all, I wanted to touch, did either of you two guys see what, in my opinion, is the catch of the year by Martavis Bryant? I mean, wow. Dude trapped the ball on the back of his hamstring, did a front flip. Connor, let's hear your opinion on that catch. What do you think? Catch of the year, top three? What's going on with that?
I definitely see it was catch of the year. I mean, it was just outrageous. The whole game, personally, I think A.J. McCarron played a great game. I mean, he showed that, Andy Dalton doesn't really need to be the limelight. I mean, he had, 4 starts this year, I think, and with the game last night, I mean, personally, I think it reflects Pac-Man Jones' attitude. You had him on your team, and look what he did at the end.
Yeah, we'll touch on that.
Save
that point, Connor. We're going to touch that on the end. I want to speak specifically on this catch and A.J. McCarron to start off here. I mean, he had a great hookup with A.J. Green. I mean, a little A.J. to A.J. action there late in the game to bring them back. And I just thought he was steady throughout. Didn't really get the help from his running backs. What do you think about the catch in McCarron's play last night, Victor?
I have to agree. The catch was definitely the best of the year. That was just amazing acrobatic ability. But I do disagree a little bit with McCarron. I was hearing reports from the people that, all the commentators and whatnot saying that he looked like he was eyeballing receivers and that he was targeting Green way too much. I just think Dalton's definitely the guy there, and he needs to stay on the bench and learn. I think that probably would have been a much different outcome if Dalton had been in the game.
And I completely agree. I think Dalton he's tenured. He's been a guy that they've gone with for a long time now. And, I mean, any reason to go away from him moving forward I think would be asinine. I think McCarron is better than given credit, though, and eventually could be a good player in the league. So I think that teams need to go ahead and keep a lookout for him if they're able to get him for the right price on those lower echelon guys. Because you see a guy here, he's got a little bit proven. You've seen him in the league for 2 or 3 years as a backup now. And I think just with that said, that it's a less of a risk for a team looking to get better than going out and landing a reach first-round guy. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he could definitely be a good starter for another team. I just don't see him ever starting on Cincinnati with Andy Dalton there.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm going to go ahead and put you guys back on hold for a sec. Now, I want to touch briefly game flow of the situation. I mean, the Steelers dominated early with 3 field goals in the first half, and that's when you saw the Bengals start to make a little bit of a comeback, some good plays here and there from McCarron. I agree with Victor. He did say that that he was staring down the receivers a little bit as far as A.J. Green goes. He's got some other weapons on the outside in Eifert and in Marvin Jones. Could have went more their way, but it is what it is. Big Ben takes a big hit from Vontaze Burfict in this game, knocks him out, and Landry Jones almost comes in and throws the game away with a late interception. But, as always, just clutch plays from the Steelers left and right. Ryan Shazier with a huge hit on Giovanni Bernard to get that fumble recovery. And then just from there, I mean, Big Ben clutch as always, gets him in this, position, whether it not be via the penalties or whatnot. I mean, bonehead play by Perfect. And then just Pac-Man Jones, like Connor was saying, I mean, just complete lack of focus in that situation. And, you've seen it time and time again with this guy. Just can't keep his head in the right situations, and ultimately it costs his team a game. So we're going to come back on the other side of this break. I want to thank Victor for joining me. Connor, if you're out there, go ahead and give a call back. I'm not sure what happened to you. We got one more caller. I'm going to go ahead and take you on the other side of this commercial break. We're going to take a little musical break here. One more time, this show is brought to you by DraftKings and FanDuel. Use the promo code Negdog at both of those websites. And be sure to give a call into the studio line. We're going to be breaking down the NFC action for today. 657-383-1868. This is Level 2 by Geo Drinks.
It's just different.
Yeah. You wanna reach cloud now? Well, I got a few options. Two of those, one of these a little, this would take effect in due process. The catch to it though is that you always gotta keep a cool conscience. Let a zone settle in. If you do, baby, we can move mountains. I ain't lying, it's the guy with the chin hair that look like Mufasa. Bad Spanish bitch in my face, and she got some huge shots. I don't need a whole army, only hang around with my true partners. I can vouch for the company I keep, and I know who the ops is. When that liquor hits my blood, I become obnoxious. Tell your girlfriend, puck her up, get my cock kissed. Puffin' dope smoke out of weird-ass objects. Feeling wavy, and this bitch in the vibes is very laid back. If a nigga own nonsense, blowing my buzz, get the guy wiggle stomp his teeth from his jaws. I mean, eat where your heart is, then find me a breezy to get lost in.
Tell me right just where you wanna be.
Yeah,
I'ma take you to exactly where you wanna go. Say you want experiences of a fantasy.
Yeah,
all that I can think of is the only place I know.
Level 2,
level 2, level 2.
I've been trying to.
All right, and that's my boy Geo Drinks up there in the Shy. Great song there. Go check out his latest EP, The Eccentric Surfer. You can find that on iTunes, SoundCloud, pretty much anywhere on the internet. You can also find it on the Negdog.com page, I believe. So, anyways, if not, check it out on the Facebook page, the Twitter. Look them up, Geo Drinks. Huge project there. So, giving a shout out to my boys. And if you've got music that you would like for us to play here on the Big D Show, send it in at the official Big D 813 at gmail.com. I'll take a listen to it. If I like it, I'll play it live on the show. So there you go out there if you're an aspiring artist. So moving on, we're going to go ahead and move on to the NFC action. I do want to bring in a new caller. We've got Vic Yak live here from the land up there in Cleveland. Gave us a little Browns info earlier today. He's still in the studio with me. We got a new caller here. Caller, you are live here on the Big D Show.
This is Arnold. I'm looking for J.J. Watt.
What's happening with JJ?
He needs to head to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Get down.
Who am I speaking with?
This is Arnold.
And for all of you out there who haven't seen it,
it is okay.
For all of you out there who haven't seen it, Arnold Schwarzenegger. All of you out there who haven't seen it yet, go check out that video of J.J. Watt. I guess we lost the governor. He dropped on us, but go check out that video of Arnold Schwarzenegger calling J.J. Watt after the game, letting him know that it's all right as long as he gets to the chopper. So anyways, we'll We're back here on the Big D Show. That was fun. We'll play a little bit around here every once in a while. Not sure who that was, but great call. So thank you for giving a call in. We'll get back here. I got Vic Yak in the studio. Say what's up to him, Vic.
How you doing, man?
All right, sweet. So we're going to get to this Seahawks and Vikings breakdown now. And this one is, we've got the Seahawks favored in this game due to most accounts. I think it's about a 60-40 split on ESPN.com currently. Seahawks boasting a little bit of a different team than we're used to seeing on the field the last couple of playoffs. Russell Wilson, now the star of this team with the passing game emerging. His new targets, I almost said targets like Arnold. He's in my head over here. New targets, the Lockett boys, Tyler Lockett. I watched him personally in K-State while I was living over in Kansas. And Ricardo Lockett, as well as Doug Baldwin having a new season, and Jimmy Graham coming along later in the year. Not quite the same Seahawks defense that we're used to seeing on this end, but the Legion of Boom is still back there, ladies and gentlemen, and they are still ferocious. On the Vikings side, they're going to lean heavily on the run game. Jerick McKinnon, of course, with Adrian Peterson. Matt Asiata will feature occasionally. They're going to lean on their defense. Leslie Frazier is a defensive guy, Tampa 2 bound. He's prone to running it. Very similar to what Lovey does, except he gets a little more aggressive out there. You'll see guys like Chad Greenway and other great players alongside him. So Bridgewater in this game will need to make some clutch throws to his receivers if they expect the Seahawks to stay out of the box. Guys like Stephon Diggs, who's emerged as a rookie this year out of Maryland, will need to make some huge catches, alongside with lesser-known targets like Travis Rudolph, the tight end, who's a big red zone threat, as well as Mike Wallace and Charles Johnson, who could make a huge play out of the slot if left alone. Vic, I like the Seahawks in this game, but I expect it to be closer than people think. I'm going with a 23-17 Seahawks victory. How do you see this one playing out?
I'm in agreement with the Seahawks taking this one, even despite not having Marshawn Lynch today. I think Russell Wilson has definitely earned his rep as a superstar. And I think he's going to take this playoff road on his own. I think it'll probably be 24-20 Seattle.
All right, and Vic's in agreement there with me. A lower scoring game here, going to be defensive with some huge plays there occasionally. I think we're going to see a strong lean on the running game in this one. My fantasy plays of the day, of course, Russell Wilson. You could get good value out of a guy like Travis Rudolph and Stephon Diggs, as well as Doug Baldwin. Higher-end guys, Jimmy Graham's one to pick. If you're looking for the super sleeper, Charles Johnson or Tyler Lockett, one of those guys could make a very big play in the passing game today going over the top. So that's how we see it playing out. Give us a call into the studio line, 657-383-1868, as we're going into the fourth quarter of today's show. 2-0 yesterday on the record to start 2016 in the NFL. Not quite the scores I expected, but, hey, what do you know? I'm still right. So winning as usual. Isn't that right, Vic?
Absolutely.
And, ladies and gentlemen, this is going back to about elementary school here. Me and my boy Vic go way back, ladies and gentlemen. Just very knowledgeable. And we just don't lose often. Ask anybody who knows us. Just our sports picks are spot on. And as you see, he's got a very similar score and breakdown to what I was thinking. So, if you don't trust us, you might just end up a loser. Anyway, moving on to the next game. We do have the Redskins and the Packers. I think this one is a much more intriguing matchup than people would originally expect coming into the season. I don't think anybody predicted the Redskins to be here. But you know what? In the words of Kirk Cousins, you like that. You like that. And that's right. I think the Redskins are going to come up with a huge upset victory today over the Packers. And ladies and gentlemen, they're protesting already. They say, how are they going to cover guys like Randall Cobb, Devontae Adams, James Jones? And you know what? I say because Aaron Rodgers has not quite been Aaron Rodgers this season. I think the Redskins come up huge today, and what could be another lower scoring game. I'm going to take Vic's score from the first game. I'm going to say 24-20. The Redskins come up with a huge victory today, stopping the Pack short on a last-ditch scoring drive. That's how I see it playing out. Guys like Jordan Reed in this game are going to be crucial. I mean, your fantasy plays, Aaron Rodgers, I think, will be good as always. Don't get me wrong, the guy is a legend, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I just don't see him being as effective this playoff run without his boy Jordy, as we've seen all season. He's just looked a little bit uncomfortable. Going to take big plays out of the running game from Starks and Lacey if they expect to get away with this victory. What do you think about that one, Vic? I think that's a pretty bold prediction on my end. How do you see this game playing out?
In my opinion, I believe the Washington Redskins are the Kansas City Chiefs of the NFC. I think that they're very underrated. I honestly think that after today, they could go on and create some more damage in the playoffs. I do have them as well. I think it's going to be a much more lopsided victory on the Washington Redskins as well, because I just think the Packers are not with it at all. It seemed like they had it together for a little bit mid-season, but it just seemed like the loss of Jordy Nelson really got Aaron Rodgers later on in the season, and the terrible play of Eddie Lacy through most of the year pretty much set them in. I was surprised they even made it through to the playoffs towards the end of the year.
And we have bold predictions left and right here, ladies and gentlemen, on the Big Sheet, on the Big D Show. You've got it out of me and Vic Yak. Take the Washington Redskins in this one. He thinks it's going to be more lopsided than I'm going 24-20 once again. That Washington defense is just solid across the board and could give Aaron Rodgers fits today. I'm excited to see how it plays out. Once again, we have the Redskins and the Seahawks today. So I want to thank Vic Yak for coming on the show. Any last shout-outs or anything here before we get to this last song by my boy, Have Passed? We're going to play a little Poe and Rich. You've got the last 30 seconds here, Vic.
Shout out to you, D-Neg. Hope to see you again soon.
I appreciate it, man. You take it easy up there in the land. We'll have you back on the shows here soon. And big shout-out to everyone listening. Thanks, Connor, for giving a call in. Vic Yak in the studio. Just awesome having you here, bud. We're going to go ahead and play Poe and Rich by Half Past, my other boy up in Chicago. This is some real lyricism, ladies and gentlemen. And we are in a prison planet. We can have a little time to ourselves to enjoy our day, but we also got to realize what's going on around us. So thanks, everyone, for listening. For Big D, this is the Big D Show here on the Negdog Radio Network.
Lake to my back, city to my front. And we are a prison planet. We're basically domesticated. I don't know how you even reach out to the young people.
I swear life was a lot easier as a little dude. Super Mario in the living room eating cereal. Then I got older, now I'm hoping for a miracle, cause I'm as lyrical, Lord. This job ain't what I meant to do. I've been miserable, I'm no saint though. I got complaints though, got Uncle Sam in my bankroll. High ass car payment, no gas up in the tank though. So if it ain't money, then you ain't speaking my lingo. 12 years a slave, I'm feeling like Django. 99 problems, I'm in shit up to my ankles, but I carry it on my back like a piggy ride. That bullshit you tell our young ones is genocide. I would never kill myself if I'm finna die. I'm going out fighting regardless. They gon' give me mine. 2012 hit, I won't lie. I ain't giving mine, but lately I'm having a strange feeling it's the end of times. But at the end of the line, since I ended the line, the TV is putting crazy shit into my mind. So it's this music, it used to be therapeutic. Now every song about selling drugs the way they do it. Wish I could stroll up in the studio where he rooted and tell him that I would like the song better if you was muted. My hood in war times, everywhere you look it's a shooting. And you bragging about the hood in that video that you're shooting. They say it's gon' get worse before it get better. There's never been a storm that I can't weather. Stay focused on the end goal and get cheddar. Hate being poor, I think I like being rich better. So if they ask why I'm a miscreant, it's cause I'm trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. No space though, trying to get my book up. Even if it means slinging crack like a hooker in the hood. Homie, ain't shit sweet, no sugar. Death coming, I ain't trying to get big like a booger. Niggas clowning and could count it. Don't blame me, I'm a product of my surroundings. Your enemies will call you out like the umpire. How you running up the street ducking gunfire? Lying ass rappers talking about they living. We losing innocence so you can maintain an image. It's a dog world like a great day, my vicious. Homie, I'm in the game and you ain't played a minute. The top one screw the other 99%ers. Since I jumped to China and sold us up the river. No FedEx though, I'm just here to deliver. You looking for somebody to blame, search in the mirror. Life's a bitch, she nags, but I don't hear her. The lust for stuff I want has turned me into a killer. The world shrinking, the ghetto is getting bigger. The poor getting poor, the rich is getting richer. Time for change, I can't stand it. This is how you mount an escape from Prison Planet. Prison Planet. Prison Planet. Prison Planet. This is how you mount an escape from Prison Planet.